Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gentle Yoga. My name is Georgia. I hope you've had a great day thus far and continue to all throughout your day and evening and have a blissful, wonderful night. So tonight and for probably the next few weeks, we will start on a chakra series, which are the energy bodies that are within the body. I always like to tell people that the chakras are not something that you can see, feel, or touch within the body. It is something that is just there energetically. So when you think about it, just know that at the base there is the root chakra, which is where we're starting tonight. And that has to do a lot with your self-worth and self-esteem and, interactions with other people on that level. So as I guide you through this class tonight, I really want you to focus your energy there, and you're grounding down through, either your pelvis when you lift up, lift the chest, and grounding down through the sit bones, or when you're pressing through the balls of the feet, the ball mounds of the feet, or all four corners of the feet, really activating and pressing down into the ground. A great way to really root yourself in the root chakra is to go outside and to place your feet in the grass. Now, in the winter months, this is not really possible because of how cold it is, but it is doable inside. So when you place your feet on solid ground, you really start to imagine roots growing from your feet and growing deep into the earth. You really imagine how deeply they grow into the earth and how wide and expansive they are. And this will help really bring you back to being grounded in life in general. And it's a good exercise to do on a daily basis, or if you just feel disconnected. And so this is a really good thing you can do. So the affirmation that we're going to be using for the root chakra is, as I strengthen my bond with my higher power's divine energy, I am being of my higher power's divine light. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. I have primal physical survival instincts. I am grounded like a tree, stable as a bedrock, and standing on my own 2 feet. I am safe, confident, and at peace. I am on a true path for this life. I love life. So start to soften the gaze and close the eyes to set your intention, whether it be this or something maybe else that you're wanting to focus on tonight. And start to connect to the breath here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale through the nose, filling up the belly. Exhale, let it go out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We'll stay here for a few more rounds on your own, setting any or whatever intention that you may need to focus on tonight. Three more deep breaths here. Start to bat the eyelashes open. Coming back into your space. Awesome. So to begin, what we're going to do is to, having bent knees, place and plant the feet firmly onto your mat. Wrap the hands around the front of the shins here. Sit up tall. So not only are you grounding down through the feet, you're grounding down through the sitting bones. So you inhale, lift the chest. It's going to be like some seated cat-cows in this position. And you exhale, round through the back of the body. Connect to the navel. Inhale, lift the chest. Ground down through the sitting bones and the feet. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round through the back of the body. Take the navel into the spine. We're going to do that 3 more times. So inhale, sit up tall, grounding down to the sitting bones. Lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, round to the back of the body. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, navel spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale when you get to the top. Take the hands back behind you, either reversing them, pointing the fingers towards the back of the mat, or have them facing in. What we're going to do here is just take the knees, bring them, keep them wide apart, and just allow them to fall over to the left side as you gaze over the right shoulder. Really grow length in the spine so that you're not collapsing into the shoulders. So really press the hands into the mat for your grounding. Three more breaths here. Being mindful that the spine stays long. Press into the hands without locking out the elbows. On the inhale, bring the knees back through center. And then on the exhale, allow them to fall to the opposite side, gazing over the left shoulder this time. So while we're in this windshield wiper type position, if you feel any stiffness in the knees or any pains in the knees, please feel free to come back out of it and bring the knees back upright and plant the feet and just gaze over the left shoulder. On the inhale, bring the knees back through center and the gaze back through center. Exhale when you get there. Move off the hands. Start to circle the wrists slightly. Come into Sukhasana or easy pose. Just to circle the wrist. Do them in both directions. If you'd like, you can press one hand into the back of one hand. You can press to the back of one hand with the other and switch that way. You can really stretch the fingertips by pressing the palm of one hand into the fingertips and pressing away. It's always a really nice way to stretch out through the wrist and the fingers. We use our hands so much in this life and our feet. We use our bodies a lot. So it's really mindful and very important to take care of the body. get back to it when we need to. Bring the feet back into that wide position where the feet are like you're on railroad tracks with the knees bent. If you have some blocks, please grab them. I meant to tell you that at the beginning of class, and I apologize. So we're going to come into Malasana or yogi squats. So you really want to anchor your feet down. What I do is I hinge myself forward, take my hands down to the mat. Then I pivot my feet out towards the sides of the mat as I allow my tailbone to draw down. Where the block comes into play is if you have an extreme amount of tightness in the hips, you take the block and put it underneath the sit bones to help bring you up or bring the ground up to you and allow you to come into this pose a little bit more easy and freely. Again, if you have any problems in your knees, come back down to the mat and try your own variation of maybe just sitting and with the hands at heart center like we were before with the feet flat on the ground. But I really want you to grow long and allow the tailbone to draw down towards the mat. Use the inner parts of the elbows to press the knees away. Grow tall up through the spine. And breathe. Last breath here, really keeping length in the spine, pressing into the feet firmly. From here, I want you to take your hands down to the mat. Then we're going to use our hands to press into the earth and shift the hips up towards the ceiling, coming into a forward fold position, allowing the back of the neck to grow long, using our feet to root into the earth. You can either keep the hands on your shins, on the thigh bones. If your hands are able to come all the way down to the mat, even if there's a slight bend in the knee, if you'd like, you can clasp the back of the calves and allow the head to go in. Or even if they're on the backs of the shins, you can grab the backs of your calves, or if they're on the back of the thigh bones, you can grab the backs of the hamstrings. Breathe here. Try to rock a little bit of weight into the ball mounds of the feet. Hands are clasped behind the backs of the legs. Take the hands back down to the mat and come into a half lift position. And then I want you to exhale, fold forward once again. Then you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms touching or apart. Exhale, arms by the side. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Bring the hands through heart center. Namaste. Exhaling all the way down as we hinge through the hips, pressing into the feet. Take the hands back down to the ground and step the feet back into your downward facing dog. Hands are shoulder distance apart and feet are hip distance apart here. Roll the shoulders away from the ears if you like and release the back of the neck. Take the navel into spine, connect into the lower abdomen. Press the mat away with the hands and bend softly in each knee, pivoting back and forth, loosening up your hinges. On an inhale, start to tiptoe or walk your feet all the way up to the hand, in between the hands if possible. And then you exhale, fold once again. On an inhale, taking a deep into the knees if you like. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands by the side. So we're going to inhale, feet are going to be hip distance here. Inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, hinge at the hips as we come into that forward fold position. Inhale, halfway lift. Then I want you to step the left foot back and pivot it to a 45-degree angle, straightening out that front leg if possible, but you can also keep a slight bend, grabbing any props that you need, such as a block, coming into a triangle posture, and extend the left arm up towards the ceiling, really pointing through the left hand. Lifting up through the body, rooting down through all four corners of the feet. On an inhale, lift up, keeping the arms wide, pivot the feet towards the back of the mat. And then on the exhale, take the left hand down either to the shin, ankle, to the block, or peace fingers around the toes. Lift through that right hand. Inhale, lift up, pivot the feet towards the front of the mat once again. Bring the stance in a little bit closer here. We're going to come into Margaritanasana, our pyramid posture. There's going to be options here, so you're going to stay with the feet in the same direction. So the back foot is going to be on the 45-degree angle, right foot's going to be facing towards the front of the mat. You can clasp opposite elbows here, if you'd like. You can reverse namaste behind the back. Just frame the torso over the front leg. The other option is you can place blocks on either side of the leg and use them here and just allow the head to come in. So it would look like so. You just keep lengthening the back of the neck. Breathe. On the inhale, lift the head and help yourself to lift all the way up. Pivot the feet towards the back of the mat slowly and softly. Either keeping the hands in the reverse namaste or interlacing or clasping opposite elbows, or taking the blocks with you. Exhale, fold. On the inhale, really rooting down through all four corners of the feet. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, when you get to the top, we're going to pivot the feet back towards the front of the mat. Unclasp the opposite elbows and release the reverse namaste. Take the hands back down to the mat. And I want you to lengthen this stance a little bit further so that back foot is going to be a little bit deeper of an angle. And you want to bring the foot in between the hands if possible. Now, if your hands do not make it down to the mat, that's perfectly fine. I know mine didn't when I first started. So you bring the right elbow to the right knee and extend the left arm. We're coming into extended side angle. Or you can take the right hand to the inner part of that right foot and come here. Or you can even use the block and come up even higher. 5 breaths. On the inhale, rooting down through all 4 corners of the feet, coming up softly and slowly, pivot the feet towards the back of the mat, bending in that left knee now, bringing that left elbow to the left knee, to the inside or outside of that left foot, extend the right arm out, then up towards the back of the mat. Gaze up towards the fingertips if you'd like, pressing firmly through that back foot. On the inhale, lift up, pressing down through that front foot. Pivot the feet towards the front of the mat. Frame that foot, right foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left, coming into your downward facing dog. And bicycle the legs. Good. Finding stillness in the legs now. We're going to inhale, bring that right foot in between the hands, coming into a low lunge position. Take as much time as you need to get there. Option to keep the hands down, planted firmly onto the outside of that right foot. The left foot extended and pressing firmly into the ball mound of the foot and active at all times. Or you could come down onto the left knee and flatten out the back of that left foot and stay here, whether it be on tented palms or palms completely down onto the mat, lengthening up to the spine. On your exhale, your back knee is extended. Your left leg is active, place that left knee down onto the mat, pressing into the back of that left foot. Coming into half Hanuman, so peel the hip crease towards the back of the mat or half splits. Right foot's going to flex up towards the ceiling. Frame that right leg with the hands, or option to use your blocks once again. And you can either stay here, or you can even walk them back and stay tall. I like the option of coming down low for my center of gravity and allow my head to come in. Three more breaths here. On the inhale, press into the hands, coming back onto the right foot here. We're going to hug that right knee into the chest as best we can, extend it out long back behind us in a tabletop position, and bring it back down to meet the left. From here, let's tuck the toes, send the hips back and up to come into your downward facing dog so that we can come back into that low lunge position. So on the inhale, bring that left foot forward, planting it in between the hands if possible, keeping that right foot active, coming into your low lunge position if you'd like, or dropping down onto that right knee and pressing firmly to the back of that right foot. Really strong legs here, rooting down into the earth. On an exhale, bring that right knee back down to the mat if it is not already, pressing firmly to the back of that right foot, peeling that left hip crease back towards the back of the mat and flexing the left foot up towards the ceiling. Same options as before, staying low, using the blocks to come up with either the handle either side of the calf, or keeping it tall and come onto the outsides of the hips. Options are up to you, where you are today. On an inhale, roll to the top of that left foot, or going on back into that left foot. Plant the hands around the base of that left foot. Bring that left knee back into the chest. Extend it out long behind you on the inhale. Then on the exhale, bring it back down to meet the right. Take the knees as wide as the mat or wider. Toes to touch. Coming into child's pose or balasana. So sink the hips back towards the heels. Extend the arms out long. Allow the chest to melt onto the mat, followed by the head. Feel the hands pressing into the earth. Feel the breath even out. Mind growing steadier. The body growing strong. Two more breaths here. On an inhale, pressing into the hands to help lift you back up into that tabletop position, stacking shoulders over wrist bones, hips over knees. We're going to move through a few cycles of cat-cow here. So if you have a towel and need to place it up underneath the knees for any sensitivity that you might have, please feel free to do so. So you'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine, find that navel spine connection connecting to the core. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, rounding to the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, rounding to the spine. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, coming back into that neutral spine position. We're going to transition into thread the needle here. So we will inhale, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling, possibly get it a little bit. Exhale, draw that right hand underneath that left armpit, placing the right shoulder down on the mat, followed by the right ear. Option to keep the left hand directly stacked, keeping it tucked in, extend it out long, or even bring it to the lower back or sacrum and tuck it into the top of that right hip crease. Options yours here. On the inhale, bring that left hand back down towards the mat. Pressing into that left hand, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe give it a little wave again. Exhale, bring the right hand back down to the mat. Switching sides. Inhale, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Then on the exhale, draw it underneath the right armpit, placing that left shoulder down to the mat, followed by the left ear. Same options as before, keeping the hand tucked in close, extended long, sacrum, or the top of that left hip creases. Just breathe deep. On your inhale, bring that right hand back down to the mat if it's not already there. Pressing it into the mat, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, bring it back down. Awesome. So we're going to swing the legs to the side here to come down onto the sitting bones. To come into Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. You have 2 options here, or if this is not good for your knees at all, you can just come into Sukhasana or whatever is good for you, or to come into a forward fold. So draw the heels in if you are bringing the heels together and ball mount with the feet touching and allowing the legs to fall out. You can come into more of a diamond type shape and bring the feet out wider. Or like I said, you can just have the legs lengthen out long, toes flexed up towards the ceiling. If you are in Baddha Konasana and you have a hard time getting the knees to fall completely, like I do, and the hips are really tight, again, place the blocks underneath the hips to help support you. Blocks are such great tools. So you can be here, you can be supported, you can be loved. Blocks about me. So you inhale, sit up tall. And then on the exhale, just take the nose or gaze down towards the feet. If you're able to, you can allow the back of the body to round and bring the nose in towards the toes. If this is so far out of your reach, then don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. You can just gaze down towards the feet. This is kind of where I started. Just looking at them and breathe deeply. Moving down to the sitting bones on the inhale. Start to roll up, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae, and allow the head to be the last thing. Awesome. So from here, we're going to extend the right leg out long, coming into a Dhanushirsasana type shape or revolved head to knee pose. So we're bringing the right foot into the inner part of that left leg. Left foot will be flexed up towards the ceiling, softness in the back of this left knee. Do not lock it out. Option to take the hand to the shin, ankle, or peace fingers around the toes, whichever works best for you and your body. You can even take a strap and wrap it around the base of that foot or a towel, like so, to help you reach a little bit further. So you'll inhale, reach the right arm up, and on the exhale, take it up and over. Allow the right shoulder to roll back and down, allowing the left to drop slightly to open up through your chest. Now you're really grounding down through your sitting bones here to really root down into the earth. On your inhale, start to lift back up. Exhale when you get to the top. We're going to stay here on this side for a moment. So as we keep that right foot rooting into the inner part of that left leg and the left foot flex, softness in the back of the knees, we're sitting up tall here. We're going to come into a forward fold position in this shape. So I really want you to remain active with the grounding down through the sitting bones to keep the spine long. So we'll inhale, sit up tall, and then on the exhale, start to walk the hands down further as far as you can go through your body. And then just allow the head to come in. Whether it touches the shin is relative. Really try to maintain that length in the back of the neck and the grounding down to the sitting bones. Loosening the shoulders away from the ears. On your next inhale, start to walk the hands back up, which is going to help you stack vertebrae by vertebrae until the last thing that comes up is your head. Exhale when you get to the top. Awesome. We'll switch sides now. So the right leg extends, the left foot comes to the inner part of that right leg. Options of the hand on the shin, ankle, peace fingers around the toes, or again using that towel to wrap around the base of the foot. You'll inhale, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling, extend it out long, allowing the right to drop, opening up through the chest. Softness in the back of that right knee. On the inhale, start to rise back up. Exhale when you get to the top. Start to pivot the torso over that right leg now to come into our head to knee pose. So even if you have to frame yourself a little different than you just were, shifting through the hips, you'll inhale, sit up tall. Then on the exhale, start to walk the hands down until you reach a nice, comfortable stretch in the back of the body and in the hamstrings. Keep that right foot flexed, softness in the back of the knee, allow the head to come in. Again, if the head touches that shin, okay, great. If not, okay, that's great too. Maybe not today, maybe someday. Get more breaths here. On the inhale, start to walk the hands up, placing on the outsides of the calf, pressing yourself back up, rolling up, really connecting to the core when you do so. And allow the head to be the last thing to come up. Exhale when you get there. Take that left leg from the inner part of that right leg. Bend in the knees once again, planting the feet into the mat. What I want you to do from here is to start to walk the hands back, until you reach flat onto the mat. It's flat. Sorry, that's where my brain just went. But anyways, extend the left leg out long. We're coming into a spinal twist here. And we're gonna take the arms into a Texas T position or cactus arms. Then keep that right knee bent, so we're gonna take it heavy over that left leg, gazing over the right shoulder. On your inhale, come back through center. Exhale when you get there. Extend the right leg out long. Now bend in the left knee to come to the spinal twist on the opposite side. And allow that knee to fall heavy over the right, gazing over the left shoulder. Adjusting through the hips if you need to get you onto the side of the right hip. Inhale, bring that left knee back through center. Exhale when you get there. Coming into Sukhasana now, so not Sukhasana, Shavasana now, our final resting posture. Take the feet as wide as the mat or wider, taking up as much space as you need to with the arms as well. And allow the eyes to fall heavy into the back of the skull. And allow the body to start to grow heavy. When I say heavy, I don't mean as in a depressive heavy, but more of a release heavy. Like you have relaxed every inch and every muscle throughout the body, starting from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Allow every muscle to relax. And even though the muscles are relaxed, you still feel a lightness within the body. That lightness is what guides you and teaches you where to soften, where to release, where to have strength. Allow the body to relax into a deep sleep. Each and every muscle completely lets go. No more holding. No more clenching. No more furrowing in the brow. Only softness and lightness. As your body Roots firmly into your body. As you rest in Shavasana. Namaste, my friends.